Welcome to part 3 of this audio upgrade series. So in this episode I'm going to be taking this speaker and putting it into this panel on my back door. It's a 12 volt speaker. It also has a line input for RCA, but it's Bluetooth, so I'm literally just going to plug 12 volts into it and then run a line from this speaker to its pair in the other door. So as you can see, like the door on the Crafter and the Sprinter, it folds back on itself, so it gives the ability to actually use it as an outdoor speaker as well. So these aren't rated for outdoors, so obviously I can't use them in the rain, but I'm not going to have the van open when it's raining anyway. So yeah, so I think I've got a few challenges. When I ordered these, I didn't actually expect them to be quite as big as they are. So yeah, these are meant to be for ceilings or for walls in a house. But yeah, I'm just gonna install these in the van and see how we get on. I was hoping it's going to be fairly straightforward, but I've offered this up to one of the doors, and actually the depth of this is deeper than I think the top of the door is, so I'm going to have to build the panel out a bit, I think. So it's going to be a bit involved, but yeah, see how we get on. Okay, so as I said, I don't think these are going to fit. They're a 6.5 inch speaker, which, I mean, the speaker's 6.5 inches, but I wasn't really paying attention, or maybe the description wasn't quite explicit enough to know that actually the distance of this mounting plate isn't 6.5 inches. So yeah, new problem. So when I've offered this up to my door, the door's not actually deep enough to take the depth of the speaker. I think actually this one might be alright because it's the slave, but the other one that I've got, this one is the driver, and it's got like some electronics on the back for the Bluetooth. So you can see that these two are actually, like, I don't know if you can see that they're actually, like, one's a lot deeper than the other. So I've had a bit of a play just after recording the intro just then, and I've actually taken this this collar, I guess, I've taken it off, which gives me a 6.5 inch speaker, which is great, but then the electronics is still too deep for the pocket I've got in the door. So I was thinking initially when I sort of did this, when I started thinking about this, I was thinking about like maybe trying to space the speaker away from the panel that I'm going to set it into. But I've just been a bit brutal a minute ago, and I've actually managed to separate these electronics from the back of the speaker. So I think what I'm going to try and do is maybe try and mount these next to each other, or maybe even take the board out of this, because you know it's only a PCB, and it's got some RCA ports on one side, and then the bits for to do the power, and then the wire that goes to the passive speaker on the other side. So I think I might actually, I'm not too sure how I would mount the PCB afterwards. I'll have to take it off and see what's on the other side to know how deep it needs to be. So it might be easier to keep it in the cup, but I don't know. I might end up mounting the cup to the wall and then screwing the PCB back into the cup. So anyway, I'm hoping you guys get the feeling right now that, you know, as I make these videos, I'm sort of making it up as I go along.
What? Oh my god!
If you're coming to do a van build for the first time, you'll very much get the idea that, you know, you'll realise quickly that actually the best laid plans of mice and men, they just go to pot pretty quickly. So yeah, next problem. Well, it's not really a problem, it's just a challenge, isn't it, really? So yeah, I'm going to take this apart, I think. Take the PCB out of the cup, and then yeah, get my finish off making my panel for that. You can see where I had the insulation in previously, and I've taken it out for this. I'll try and get some insulation in around it once I've got the speaker mounted. So yeah, I'll finish off the panel. I'll do that off camera, and then I'll come back and hopefully I'll have a hole the size of this speaker in a piece of ply, and yeah, see how we get on. It's going to be challenging, this one. So I decided to start on the left hand side of the van, which in the UK is the passenger side, because I'd already made this panel a few months ago, back in October I think. I was in a field in Oxfordshire at a self-built camper meet. So anyway, I made this panel there. So I've drilled the hole, and as you can see I've got this speaker mounted to it, and it lines up quite nicely, I think. That's where it's going to sit. So this is a bit of the wood that came with the van as part of the ply. I'm not too sure where this was originally fixed, but yeah, it's not the nicest bit of ply in the world. So I think before I screw any more into this, put any more screws into the speaker, I'm going to carpet the piece of wood. So yeah, I'll get this carpeted, make it look a bit nicer, and then I'm going to make a start on the back side, and I think I'm going to mount the cup here so that it sits in this part of the door. So after I've got that all mounted up again and the panel carpeted, this kit also came with some speaker covers. So they're white, so I'm going to try and spray paint these black. They've got like a fabric inside. So I'm hoping actually the spray paint doesn't ruin it. But they're metallic, and with the mounts that come with the speaker, they have little magnets in them. So it's just magnetic and just sits on top of it. Obviously, I'm not going to be using these, but instead I've got some little neodymium. I don't know how to say that. I can never pronounce it. Neo magnets that I've got like a little countersunk screw head in them, and these are like these will stick to the cover. So I think I'm going to screw some of these to the panel once it's carpeted. I might have to space them off a touch. I can't get this one off now. Yeah, I might have to space them off a touch just to get it away from the speaker. But I'm hoping that'll just finish it off and make it look quite nice and not make it like an eyesore. So yeah, so next I'll get on and carpet that panel. I've seen this trick on Instagram where people can snap their fingers, just make something happen. So do you think we can make that work? No, it just must be an Instagram thing. I'll be back. So here we are. I've got the speaker mounted to the panel now. It looks much nicer in carpet, and I must admit the more I see this carpet and the more I see the grey coming into my beard and my hair, I'm starting to feel more of an affinity with this carpet. Less said about that the better, probably. So anyway, speaker's now mounted. I've also got the cup mounted on the back of here. So this has got all my wires. Obviously I've got to put a piece of wire between these two to join these back up again after cutting them. There wasn't enough slack between the two. So, and I've got my RCA inputs across the top here, and the 12-volt power in, and the passive speaker out to go to the other door. So next up is this panel, this white panel. I need to spray paint that black. And looking at this now, it's got a bit of a wobble on, which means that the tweeter here is actually raised, so it's higher than the level of the speaker. So I'll have to find a way to space the magnets off of the panel to make it so this sits nicely. Does mean there'll be a bit of a gap if you get really close to it, but I don't think that'll matter too much. I don't think you'll notice it. So yeah, so that's next. I'll have a go at this next, and hopefully it comes out alright. Otherwise I'll just end up with a speaker in the panel looking bare like that, which not the end of the world, but it'd be nice if I can make this look right. So a quick thing about the speakers, they're by a company called Adastra. Let me put this down. Yeah, they're by a company called Adastra. They're Bluetooth speakers, 6.5 inch. I just got them off TLC Direct, which is Electrical Factors here in the UK. I'll put a link in the description down below. They weren't particularly expensive, 60 quid for the pair, I think. They're designed for houses, designed for going in your ceiling, kitchen ceiling, that sort of thing, or maybe in a wall. So I'm not too sure how well they'll hold up in a van with all the vibrations we talked about in the last video. If you haven't seen me putting the theatre speakers in the front cab, I'll put a link up here somewhere to for you guys to see. But yeah, like I say, I've had to modify these slightly because they weren't quite as I expected. So obviously I haven't used this mounting plate, which is a lot bigger. I mean, you can just sort of see like the size of it compared to what I've got there now. It's huge in comparison, but I do like the way that the fixings work. I'll just put this down, hang on. I do like the way that the fixings work, in that you screw a screw in here and these little feet like rise up and down and clamp. I thought that was quite neat. If you're literally just cutting a hole in your ceiling and you wanted just to put these in. So yeah, cool little piece of kit, and I'll probably use them somewhere else, maybe in the house. But yeah, not for this project. Anyway, right, let's gabbling. Let's get on and paint that, and find a way to mount it to the panel so it actually fits and looks nice. Yeah, I've got the grille painted now, and I think it's not quite as black as I think it could be if it was done, you know, from the factory. But the fact is, this isn't quite black, so I think actually the two blend quite well. And I've put the magnets. I put 4 magnets in, and I spaced those off with some stainless steel M8 washers. Yeah, so I've spaced those off with some M8 washers, and yeah, I quite like how it looks. So all that's left to do now is get these two joined up, and then run some cables through the van. So on the Crafter, you've got these rubber boots that go. I'm assuming that's the same on the Sprint as well, but they go between the door and the body. So the passenger side in the UK, that feeds the number plate light. So I'm going to try and come down the door through here and then back up to go to power to my control board. If you've seen my van tour, you would have seen the control board, and if you've seen the magnetic lock video, you'll see the mess that is behind the control panel. But I won't show you again in this one because it's just embarrassing. But so yeah, so I'm going to do that, and then on the right hand side, on the driver's side, there's a similar one for the central lock-in. So again, I'm just going to run a cable from one side of the van to the other, down here into there and up for the passive speaker. So that's how I plan to wire it. Hopefully it all goes smoothly into plan. But yeah, it's coming together. I'm sorry I haven't really shown you much in the way of hands-on, but I'm just conscious that some of my videos get quite long and I'm not too sure what the right length is. And you know, leave me a comment below. Just let me know if you think the videos are too long, or if they're right, or you want to see more detail. Then, you know, I'd love to interact with you guys. So I'm going to do a bit of soldering now, and then I'll start running some wires. I managed to get my cables run now. I must admit it was an absolute pain to do this. So getting this conduit, this rubber grommet type thing, you know, I don't know what to call it, like this rubber tube. It was an absolute pain to get off. You've got to push these like clips down inside the metal and then put them back. I end up taking the rubber off and then getting these out separately. And then yeah, trying to pull the cable through the rubber was an absolute nightmare. Ended up using some blue tube. Like it's just 6 by 4 mil, so it's probably 6 mil out of diameter. PU hose because it's kind of flexible enough, but to go around corners, but strong enough that I could like push it. But yeah, trying to get that through was, yeah, I don't want to do that ever again. So anyway, I've got the cables run up to the top of the door. I've got a twin speaker wire running from one door to another, and then I've got a two core cable going that's going to go over to the control panel. Now that I've got the speaker cable between the two doors, I can wire up the power cable at the other end and wire it up to the when I put the speaker in. And then once I've done that, I should be able to test it and get it make sure it works. And then I've actually got to start all over again with this piece of wood. I haven't actually made the panel yet for the driver's side door, so I don't think I'll document that because it's just basically starting all over again. So through the power of editing, you'll just get to see it all finished. I've actually got to do the work now. I'm not too sure if it'll be today that I do it or tomorrow. It's getting a bit late now and I've been working on this most of the day. But anyway, through the power of editing, you'll come back and see this finished, and I think that's where we'll pick up when both the panels are on, the speakers are in, they're all carpeted, it's all working, and I'll give you a quick overview of what I've done. So you'll see me in a second. It'll be quite a long time for me. Anyway, so today's the next day. I've now made the panel for the driver's side, installed all that, it works, it sounds pretty good actually. So I've got them both working. The only thing I've got to do next is when we decide to actually go to move on to a projector, I'll have to take this grommet off and put a RCA cable up to the receiver in there. I didn't do it this time because I didn't have the right cable, but I think a projector's way off yet, and I'm not even too sure if we're actually going to have one. The idea is to take the van and get away from technology rather than take it with us, which is ironic considering what I'm talking to you on. But I'm quite happy with how it turned out. So it was this Adastra 6.5 inch speaker kit is what I installed. So yeah, I think all in all it turned out quite well. I think the speaker grills are a bit big really, so I think I'm gonna replace those with some 6.5 inch grills. I've ordered some on eBay last night after doing these. I'll see how they turn out. I'm not too sure, but they're on there for now. So the next job is mosquito netting. We're planning on going to Italy this summer, so yeah, we don't really want to get eaten alive, so we're going to try and make our own mosquito net. So I think that's probably going to be the next job on the list. So we're going to try and make them for the whole aperture for the back door as well as the sliding door and the sliding window that we've got above our sink. So hopefully I can get some of that on video. My wife Sophie's going to give me a hand, and she's not too keen about being on video, so we'll see how much you guys get to see of that. So yeah, so that's it for this video. Please do leave a like, please do subscribe to the channel. Like I said previously, it's a new channel. I only started at the beginning of this year, and if you've got any comments about the speakers, if you think I could have done it a better way, or if there's something you wanted to see, or if you got any questions about it. And like I said, I'm not too sure about how long to make these videos and how much depth to go into, so please do let me know beneath what you think. So yeah, anyway, hopefully the next one will be a mosquito net video, and I'll see you guys on that one. Goodbye.